What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Seven Nights Flashpoint. We've got a Bodyguard mission ready to go in just a second, but before we launch that, we have started crafting a melee weapon, which we do in 4 days, and before then we've also got to do a little bit of training really quickly. So our hacker is leveled up to 7, as we noticed from the last Matrix host that the damage we're dealing isn't quite enough to keep up with how powerful these hosts are anymore. Unfortunately, I didn't do quite enough future planning. Actually, no, this is fine, because we can grab this plus 25% damage right here. That should get us over the hump for now, but relatively soon we'll be getting the extra charge as well as the increased damage to keep up with further Matrix host scaling. So that's going to be him being done. Agent EX to level up. We've been going for Smokescreen. I could go for one more on cooldown here. I'm probably not going to go for any more on Supremacy. I think I'm going to keep going back to Line Crawler and bump this up for a while. And then my Scourge hit 7. 7 is one of the levels where you can get 2 points, so we get a little bit spent here. I can get charges on Venom Trap. I don't want to get any more on Nervotox Shell. Toxicloud itself is done for me. Brainworm range is really useful here. It makes it a lot more usable in a lot more situations. I'm really tempted to go here. The other option is dropping Dissolve's AP cost from 2 to 1. Dropping the cooldown is very likely to give me one more charge over the course of a mission. Right, if the mission's exactly 6 turns instead of 7, I get +1. If the mission's exactly 11 turns instead of 13, or 12 instead of 13, I get +1 as well. So, or yeah, on that breakpoint. So those are reasonable. I think I'm going to kind of split the difference here, take 1 in Brainworm. I think later on I will take another, but I think this is enough usability for now. And then I'm going to drop the Dissolve AP cost just to get more and better forward progress, but I might skip on this range bump, but I'm probably going to eventually take all this stuff down here, as well as taking probably up to the AP cost and the second charge in Brainworm long term, and just kind of leaving Venom Trap as sort of low investment. It's going to still be the primary squad for this, and we can go ahead and move forward with the Bodyguard mission. Actually, real quick, before I do that, I forgot, I have a Field Op Center token, and I may want to use it. Do I want to give my whole team +2 move points? Do I want to save it for something else? I think for now I'm going to save this. We've got a couple missions coming up here that I might use this on, so we'll leave this as it is for now. So once again, Bodyguard mission, prep the mercs to deploy. It is going to be this squad. Let me just double check that everyone's wearing silencers. This pistol has it. This SMG has it. This pistol has it. And of course, that's a melee weapon. So looks like this squad is ready to go. We've got an empty slot here to throw gear into. So let me give him, I don't know, a smoke grenade. That seems reasonable enough. We'll give him a Dazzler. Sure, he's got 2 ways of stunning people. That seems fine enough to me. All right, here's the squad. Let's go Bodyguard. Well, we're running short of enemy contact. Elise is our charge for the evening. All of our pay hinges on her survival. If she goes down, there's a kill switch in her head. It'll wipe the quantum headwear memory so it can't fall into the wrong hands. You heard that. Don't get shot. So, we are back on Req Site. I know one of our earlier missions was on this map. I think I've gotten a little bit unlucky in rerolling the same maps more often than I normally would. End of the day, our exit's going to be over here. And it's worth noting that the way that loot is laid out, there's basically, we have 2 options, right? We can run in a straight line, and yeah, there will be guards here. We got to knock down this camera, got to knock down this camera, but I have a hacker, an Agent EX, and a Cyberknight to knock that down. That's going to be no big deal. 1 guard in the way. Our vision radius only goes to about here, so, you know, there might be a guard here, 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 here. You know, last time we were on this map, there were guards in this area as well, but hey, we're going out this way no matter what. So, there's probably only like 2 or 3 guards to deal with if we wanted to go in a straight line, and this would be pretty straightforward and pretty chill. But what I'd really rather do is make progress up this way, because that way I can pretty cleanly grab these, 5 loot boxes. This 6th one is going to get gotten no matter what. And we walk by the Matrix host, which to me is worthwhile. So I'm going to say that we should go for a more sort of aggressive look here, try to scour the entire map, get more loot. Where we're standing, and based on where you're standing, I'm expecting your patrol to be standing still, looking back and forth. Usually someone who's like behind an emplacement stays behind the emplacement. But what I will do is look ahead this guard. You're probably on the move and you're running away. I don't want you to run away. I'd rather kill you now. So I'm going to start the buff train. And I'm going to go ahead and throw down an early line crawler. Knock this camera out. And then go do what I can to make progress here. I really think we're not going to have to care about you. So I'm going to run up to here, which is roughly appropriate range for attacking. I'm going to get info on new guards. There are indeed new guards. This is Z-Rusher, so we've got a slightly tankier melee character, but otherwise still a lot of basic guards. If I shoot the Urban Assault, 4 people can hear it. It's a pretty loud gun. That's not the greatest. So it's probably going to be an SMG angle. And one consideration is going to be the fact that you will likely see that Bodyguard die. And I'm not sure if we can prevent you... Well, actually we can. I'm actually quite sure we can. So I'm going to... You know what? No, the plan is going to try to be kill all of them. That'll be a little bit tough. I can't get everyone into range. But what I am going to do is just simply run up like this and shoot the SMG, and it just kind of is what it is. I think this is reasonable. Decent early damage. That's just fine for you. We'll knock down other devices later. Gonna go ahead and get very little done with him. He's, you know, basically useless on SMG plus Slant Blade. I can run up for some Toxic Cloud Venom Trap stuff, but I'm going to delay you for a bit. You're kind of last resort here. Hacker should have no big issues going for something. So if I go to... If I go to here, I stay out of eyesight, so I get surprise target for bonus accuracy. And that's going to be worth it for me. So just barely on the edge of vision. And that means the shot's going to look pretty good. Second shot should kill, as long as I don't miss. And he thankfully dropped fast enough. This guard doesn't see him behind the box anymore. So that was pretty chill. I'm just going to walk forward in a straight line then. Because the only other guard who can move is this guy. And we're behind these boxes. Even if he does patrol aggressively, we're still going to be fine. So we're going to go ahead and have our Bodyguard charge run up here and grab loot. They only ever have a silenced level 1 SMG, so they're not great combatants. So the more you can... and we can go ahead and just use this charge here and get farther forward. We're going to try to go before this character. That shouldn't be a big problem. But basically, yeah, since her weaponry is poor, you might as well focus as much as you can on... Actually, do we want to shoot this guy? Probably not. I'm going to double check some things, but I'm pretty sure this is not playable. One thing I could use to do is, like, aggressively go for a stun. That would allow me to move farther forward on this turn, but it's just not that important. But I'm going to run you forward here. I'm going to delay and just see what this guard does, but it's actually pretty likely I'm going to run partially forward like this and throw down Atomic Stutter. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick is look ahead this guard. Make sure their patrol isn't annoying. Yep, their patrol is fine. You're standing still. You're not close to us. It's all fine. And so, yeah, I think what I want to do is maximize forward progress. One way to do that is throw a Venom Trap here. That's not the worst idea. Okay, what I'm going to actually do, because I don't want to get spotted. The debuff lingers for a bit. So I'm going to yield here, and I'm going to go ahead and play for Atomic Stutter. So I'm going to run one tile up to get into range. This keeps me out of eyesight, which is good. Pop the Atomic Stutter. And then I have two options. One is to security scramble right now. It means whoever has to grab this loot has to get in and out during this turn, which is a pretty tight timeline. But it allows my security scramble to be back up a little bit sooner for a future turn, which is itself also valuable. I think ultimately I'm going to choose to move forward progress and delay the cooldown start on Scramble. And that'll have to be reasonable. And now Sprinkle can pretty cleanly run up, and I think, realistically, this is one of the only times I'll have a really good use for Venom Trap, so I'm going to run up here and Venom Trap this guy and get my 75 free damage, and basically clean out the rest of this later. So that's basically, you know, 2 action points saved for the next turn, and someone else can knock down the camera, unless maybe like Line Crawler gets lucky. But pretty good start here. So of course the security AI knows nothing. I have not used my Scourge to remove the body. I could. It's probably correct to remove it because at some point someone's likely to patrol, and so I think that's, you know, pretty worthwhile. I'll go ahead and scramble this camera. Then I know I've got to get rid of this guard at some point, but my best runner is a Cyberknight, so we're gonna have her run up to here. I could have waited for more of the guards to take their turn. That would have been pretty reasonable. So V-Chip is a loot type that you can forge, we'll say, as a completed item in the cold storage. And if you get part 1, 2, and 3 of a V-Chip, it creates a new contact for you. Gold Stack pays extra and buys, like, literally everything. And so it's a really good way to make sure you can make money off everything. Anyway, yeah, I think... So because you're stunned, we're always going to guarantee the next 2 Venom Trap ticks as well. But I want to make sure I can dissolve this body. So we do want to do some early damage. I mean, we have to do some damage anyway. He's only taking 150. But I might want to have him die, like, at the end of this turn and not the end of next. Okay, that crit is huge. Well, that's nice. And the funny thing is, that counted as a stealth crit because she's hidden. So we get the stealth bonus accuracy and we get the stealth crit, which is them getting one shot. I really, really love having all this crit chance in the Cyber Knight. I'm very addicted to that kind of setup. It's very powerful. Yeah, I'm going to choose double dissolve here. Dissolve 1, dissolve 2. We have to dissolve this one for sure, because his camera will turn back on. But I just think there's a decent enough chance that someone patrols through this body that it's just worth using the talent here. Again, we already know what you're doing, and there's no security escalation, so there should be no concerns around someone stumbling upon me as I'm moving up. So, double dissolve. Just run forward. You aren't moving till next turn, which you already knew about. And so, yeah, mostly can just run the team straight forward. Again, shouldn't have to be worried about this guy at all. So I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. If I really wanted to make sure, if I thought, like, look ahead might have been lying, we can go for some delays instead and just, like, really make sure. But you're standing still, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to stand still as well. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. But we got rid of the 2 guards. We got rid of any evidence they were even here. You're going at 16, which is a little scary, but I'm still not too worried about you. I think it is likely you walk forward, but with these benches in the way, I think anyone who's crouching is not going to get spotted. So I'm not super concerned. Just going to keep running forward. We've got 2 loot boxes. We've got 4 to go. We've got a Matrix host to grab, and we're going to make our way to the exit as soon as possible. All right, Linecrawler bounced to something. I don't know what. We'll know soon. Don't know what it bounced to, but you know what? That's fine. All right, so we should delay and let this guy move, because I'm not going to one-shot him with the Cyber Knight. You are walking forward, but you're not walking forward very far. We know you're standing still. And here, let's just see what you're going to do, which is nothing. That's what I assumed. Okay, fine. All right, so I'm going to have a hard time killing this guy with my Scourge. I don't think I want... I could choose to throw Toxic Cloud against the corner there, and it would be functional, but not stellar. Initiative at 16 is not horrible, but it's not great for me. But ultimately, you know, running up like this is going to be acceptable. Actually, I want to be a little bit cautious here. I'm going to go a little bit short to here. Get new info. Okay, there is a guard right there. We will probably start moving at some point, but for now it's fine. Let's just run the Scourge up. I think this is reasonable. And because I've already used Atomic Stutter, I don't have an easy way of knocking this guy out and making the patrol really easy. I think ultimately I'm going to have my entire team hug this wall. I'm going to nerf his initiative so that I can always go first. And then we're going to Alpha Strike him next turn. That'll be pretty much the play here. You can see that we're not mostly winning on initiative, but I can change that soon. I'm going to go here and stop short so I can Interference Spike. And drop you down to initiative 10, but I'll let my team go first. Here you go. Alright. Interference Spike does not wake people up or do anything special, but it does drop their initiative. You can upgrade it to give a little bit of minus evasion. You can upgrade the initiative drop a little bit. Ultimately, I'm fine with it as it is. I think it's a very good 1-point wonder. It is okay with investment. There is a mechanic where... Oh, nice. Part 3. Cool. One more part to go. There is a mechanic where if you drop someone's initiative below, or actually 2 or below 0, so below 1, they'll immediately skip the turn. Now, they don't count as stunned, so they will still be able to report you to the AI. But if you're in like a full combat mission, it's as good as a stun. And if you think they're going to have like a very aggressive patrol or, you know, stumble upon somebody or something, it's a good way to like block that, essentially. So pretty good turn of running full forward. This next turn is a Tactical Surge turn. We get the Escalation, which is guaranteed because of the 4 tally per turn. Wow, we've already got drones. Okay, wow. So, yeah, you're still useless. That's fine. As something turns back on, something's turned back off. Yes, so the Free Streets Compact have access to refurbished infantry drones. So, you know, their basic guards, right, are like pretty crummy. 300 health, and that's with multiplier. Their actual health is like 210, but I'm playing at 1.5x. You know, mediocre armor at 36%. So, okay, they're really going to take, you know, 400 something damage to kill. Okay, that's not horrible, though. You know, they got these guys with 74 armor. Like, double the health and double the armor. Going to take something like 5 times, 4 times. Yeah, about 5 times the damage to kill. Yeah, let's never run into these guys. And, of course, they spawn a Grunt Captain as well. They spawn a Shotgunner who's got solid armor. Let's never run into these guys. Again, thankfully, we dissolved these 2 corpses, so considering the AI still has no info about us because we've dodged all the cameras and dodged all of detection, in fact, my entire team counts as hidden for a good reason, they're going to patrol, but they have nothing to go search for. They just kind of showed up because that was the escalation. Alright, so I kind of want to know what you're going to do. Based on my knowledge of the map, you're going to run this way, but you know, that would be kind of cheating to know that. I'm just going to basically throw in some damage here. I can't do too much special. I'm just going to shoot basically normally. So I'm just going to... Actually, see, the thing is, I want to run him around to where I can use stealth effectively. Problem is, when I run, he's going to hear the footsteps and turn. And he's going to turn and see all my other guys, which is going to put them all in spotted, which I'm really sad about, because I want good stealth attacks. So what I could do is crouch. And if I attack from here, this is much more likely to preserve stealth in the rest of the crew, because he won't be able to see anything else. The other thing I want to do is signal grift the corpse. So I ideally kind of want someone else to go first, but yeah, Unique is far away. Elise is not going to be good at dealing damage. Running into melee range for the shotgun with Sprinkle is going to clearly get him to turn and get revealed. I have no way of running up stealthily. And so even though I do want to, I have to double back for signal grift, it's still my best option while preserving stealth in the team. So we're going to go from here. And he's going to take some fire and... Oh, no! Darn, he sees them. Okay, well, shoot. That's too bad. So the hope was that he wasn't going to see anybody, but he turned to spot him. The vision cone then saw this guy, or this guy. He's like, wait, I see somebody. Turns to look at him. Because of that, vision cone goes here, says, I see you as well. So even though I tried and I had the best intentions, we still got 2 of our mercs spotted. Which will be okay for shot 1 against him, but the other shots, he'll now be alert, and the other one's going to be spotted, and they're not going to get a stealth attack. So that's too bad. Oh well. I'm going to still delay, let this guy have his turn. I don't think I can cleanly... Well, actually, you know what? If I yield, and I throw down... Wait, tactical... Oh, we're going into turn 4, not turn 5. Okay, yeah, we don't have this. I'm going to delay and let this guy waste his turn then. He's going to run away from us, but I don't like my chances of firing from here. Well, actually, I don't hate them. The problem is I yielded so much, though, I've got no one else to shoot from, so... I should have made that choice sooner. I think I made the wrong choice. I think I could have killed him. But he's going to patrol it this way. There was likely more guards over there, so... to make my life that little bit more difficult, but oh well. Alright, so I can only go so far each turn. I think running forward this far is okay. And then we can see one more guard here. There's probably more, you know, somewhere closer. I expect his patrols to keep running out that way, but I just want to get close as I can. I could Brainworm, but if I do that, he's going to run out and try to fight at the start of the next turn. His initial roll is very good. So best I can do is kind of creep up closer. We get a new guard here. Yeah, basically just creep as close as I can. Stay outside of footstep range. Take the Matrix Host down next turn. These pressure sensors totally matter. I'm going to probably use Spanner with Signal Grift to ignore pressure sensors and grab both boxes. Should be about okay on the 2-3 turns he's going to have. That should be decent enough. And do I have to use things like Packet Loss? I will, but I'd like to save the action points if I can. So you're still guarding, doing nothing. Here's their patrol. But again, we got rid of the body, so the patrol is not going to do anything special. And the Grunt Captain's going to just chill there. That's fine with me. And yeah, do I want to go for a Rewind? I think I do. So let's double check a couple of things. So where's my EX? So you're here. You got 1 charge of Line Crawl. You got Signal Grift. That's totally fine. Supremacy will pop next time there's an escalation. That's fine as well. What I think I want to do actually is come up here and rewind my Scourge to give him another Dissolve. I think I will get value out of Dissolve. Maybe that's incorrect, but it's kind of what I'm thinking here. Not even sure why I'm so keen to do that. The only other thing I'm getting is 1 turn sooner of Venom Trap, but to me that's kind of worth it. I don't know why I think I want to dissolve this badly. I feel like we're going to get this kill, and no one will see the corpse, and we'll keep moving forward. So I think I'm actually wrong about this. I'm just going to save Rewind then, so I have it for, like, I don't know, Line Crawler or something. Or maybe even the Hacker, potentially. Those are rolled where that matters, too. Alright, and we can just run forward. This seems decent enough here. There's going to be nothing new for the security tally, so I'm not going to bother. Alright, yep, Z-Rusher is still guarding. Elise is going to have to wait. Alto's going to walk that way, because of course he is. I forget if he keeps going forward or turns back. Thankfully we have... Oh, we don't actually have to look ahead, so we've got to basically do it this turn. So it's Tactical Surge time. And you wouldn't see the body, which is good news. And I've got a clean line of sight on this already. So I've got 8 action points, which is enough for basically 3 full shots plus a reload plus 1 more. That's obviously quite a lot of damage I can put out here. I can basically shoot most of my shots. Actually, you know what? We should let the other guards have their turn. In case he's going to walk forward and see stuff, I want to know what that's going to look like. So he is walking forward indeed, so not very far. And in fact, still can't see the body, but it gets a little bit dicier. Still don't want to use a shotgun for what I think is pretty obvious reasons. But you're going to be my best bet at... This is my best chance to use a sword. He's not going to be in visual range. He's going to get spotted here. But I don't... Actually, this is... I think he's going to be far enough away. He's not going to spot my CK. So I don't mind getting spotted here and just sword swiping. We see more guards. Okay, fine. You have an intruder spotted. Yep. Strike 1 is a graze. Strike 2 is another glancing hit. Strike 3 finally kills. I feel like I glance so often with melee weapons. That might just be really a weird like confirmation bias thing, but it really does feel like I get glances more than I expect to. Could have waited for more of them to move, but it's fine. Alright, you're going to walk around and not see corpses. You're patrolling, doing nothing special. You're still standing still. You're patrolling, but looks like you're going in a square. And we can start hacking finally. Alright, well. I think realistically, I should know that I will probably have spare AP this turn. And that I can spend AP on packet loss and it's not a problem. The reason being, I'm going to be really IO starved starting the Matrix hack. So I'm just going to go ahead and packet loss early. Because I really don't think I'm going to use all my AP anyway. We'll see if I'm wrong, but I really believe it's true. Alright, we're going through a dark and scary Matrix host. I actually know what this layout is already, because I've done this layout many, many times. This is an SPU, this is the CPU. There's 2 remote control units right here. You start to like learn a lot of these as it turns out. Alright, so damage to connection, program loading is skippable. Double passive here. They're probably both... One is going to be program loading, and I'll not be able to use disarm, but oh well. Oh, not actually. Alright, well I can load programs here. I don't expect there to be a 4th ice, but I think... do I want to preload disarm? I think I don't actually. I'm going to walk forward like this. Unload programs, damage to cyberdeck. Okay, well we've got to go in this order. Scan for neighbors. There is a trap here, so when you load a program... Okay, there is a trap, but thankfully I don't have to care about it. We'll finish the scan here. We'll take the download. Now, the fact that this didn't get revealed means it must be the CPU. In fact, it'll even say that. CPU located but resisted to remote scan. So, we're not going to load any programs here. We are going to run over and null op once or twice. Lost some connection health, but we can see that we dealt damage to 3 ice, and 3 ice are dead, so we know this is now cleared out. Because it will tell you if you dealt damage to a 4th one. And the fact that we got them destroyed and got some tally means we know what's going on here. So, we can faithfully scan and scan. I think this is a decent timing for the escalation blocking, so we'll spike this. There is almost certainly a trap here, so let's load anti-trap. Let's run up. Let's scan for the trap. They're both on downloads. We got to kill them both. We'll take these downloads. 1 per action means a great place to load programs in, so I'm going to do that. And looks like the layout here looks pretty positive. I can scan from the outside. I have passive and trap reduction, which means we go to the one with the passive and the trap, not the active. Let's go here. When you take any action, steal stuff, block download access, take our final download. And when you look at that, we have no IO, we have 6 AP. We can't make forward progress until we load more programs, so I don't have a reason to walk forward onto this thing. I could double walk and use null op. I don't think it's worth it. It would save me a couple action points, but I'd rather use null op for the SCU that's right here. Or the SPU that's right there. This thing. So, pretty good turn. Now is right to use the AP. Alright. So, we want to signal grift this body. Because we'll be on the map long enough that that time is going to run out. And it allows me... Though I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Would allow me to run over these pressure sensors. So, I'm briefing. There we go. There's signal grift. Not quite in range. Got to run up to here. I tried. Alright. Well, body timer is gone. And now we can run and grab loot. So, run over there. No problem. Here's the first box. Looks pretty good. 30k and a smoke grenade. That's pretty worthwhile. We can have Elise grab the second one. Since the sensors are dead, she's not going to have any problems grabbing this. Could have had her run for both, certainly. But I think it's fine this way. Doesn't quite make it. That's okay. There we go. And then... I think I might as well print the move points here. I think we can get use out of them. Honestly, that might have not been the right choice since... okay, so you're a little bit scary. The reason why is we're never going to use this talent more than one more time this map. And so whether I use it this turn or like turn 6 or 7 or 8 wasn't going to be a difference. It just means that I actually wasted one action point here. So it was wrong to get the thing back on cooldown. Oh well, too late now. Actually, one thing I'm a little worried about is if your patrol is good, he's getting spotted. So I'm gonna need to bump Sprinkle's initiative to make sure I can get him to safety. So we're gonna go ahead and pre-compute advantage. Bump Sprinkle here. He'll go first next turn. I'm gonna run up to this box. I'm gonna reload. And I don't have a reason to rush forward here. We've still got 1 or 2 turns left of the Matrix. He's gonna only get to like here on his turn. So we're not in a big rush here. No new tally, no new source of information from the security AI. And so we're going to have you just walk right here. That should be good enough cover where I'm not worried about new guards. Don't need to preemptively duck, but I did it anyway. Let's delay, let the guards all move. You're standing still. You're standing still. I'll wait anyway. We know you're still standing still. We've continued to bypass you. Okay, so we got to load a bunch of stuff here. We need scan, we need active, we need trap because of this. Let's run up. Download a file, any action, so it's going to be in this order. There's the downloads. We know this is load a program. We can skip that for now. AP kiosk connection use is kind of mandatory the way it is. There is definitely a trap here, in fact maybe 2, with 4 nodes being on this one. And it's very likely there's 4 nodes on this guy as well. We know there can only be active ice and traps because we've already scanned. There's, you know, what we can see here. So I'm going to run up here and just pop the null op. We lost some connection health, but it's still okay for now. We in fact destroyed 4 ice. So it was right, there were 4. There were 2 traps down there. We don't know what they are. Doesn't matter. They're going to be annoying. I can pretty much guarantee that. It's not worth knocking down any devices. It's that camera and these laser gates, and these laser gates are down anyway. So the only thing I care about is this. And once again, we know it can only be 1 active and 1 trap, or something kind of like that. So I'm going to move over here, drop that one. What's the trap? Ow. Low connection health, but it's fine for now. We need download relocates. Drop that. I basically have to be done now, because keep in mind, overclock's going to drop 12 connection per turn, and I'm at 11 connection, which means it's going to go bad quickly. So the fortunate thing is we were done already. But if we had to go for 1 more turn here, we'd have to have disconnected to get the connection health back, and that would have been bad. But we're good. We got our 4 sets of downloads. We're pretty happy here. Our hacker can be done. We can delay and wait for the guards. You did find a corpse. You're going to go investigate that. We hid behind a wall. He's going to hunt, but he's still not going to see us in time because we're hiding behind a wall. So I'm glad we waited because that was going to be a bit annoying. He's standing up there. Pobot's going to start moving. Good for you. All right. I should still delay behind these last few guards. There's no reason not to. You're walking away, which is good news for me. You can go last. You're walking a little bit closer, but it's not a big concern just yet. You're useless. Good to know. Alrighty, so let's have the EX walk up and do a little bit of damage. I might as well. I could go to here. That would let me reload and then shoot once. Or I can go, you know, up to here. I'll probably crouch to get a little bit closer as well. Much like basic pistols, you can shoot with 1 action point on baseline SMGs. So I'm going to crouch 1 more forward. That way I can stay hidden, which gives me a stealth crit here. Because he's a surprise target because I'm hidden. I'm not in range for Shuriken. Actually, I'm in range for Shuriken Wave. What about the Shuriken Wave or actually SMG this guy? I think I might Shuriken Wave literally for... the damage isn't that much lower. It's a little bit lower, don't get me wrong. But the minus evasion actually makes everyone else's job that little bit easier. It also doesn't technically turn people alert, and so he didn't turn over and do anything. No reason to use Smokescreen. We're totally safe here, but that's worth thinking about. Or could have been worth thinking about. I would have liked to use my Scourge and use the sword here. But I don't want to, like, just run past him with the Cyberknight. That feels kind of incorrect. I could, I suppose. Like, if I just ran up like this, and I like run up here and Atomic Stutter, and rely on my team to claim this kill, it is very likely we get it. It's being a little bit risky, but I don't think it's being that risky. And Atomic Stutter is, again, it's only one action point. This stun is guaranteed. I think this kill is actually guaranteed for us with 3 other mercs to still act. So I'm going to make that bet here and play really reckless. So yeah, my guy gets spotted now. It's fine. He hears some footsteps, but I'm going to stun him so he can't report anymore. I'm going to... Let's see, what leverage I have? Yeah, it's just the influence for the guard. Or the contact. I am going to yield and let Sprinkle go first. That way he can use his sword effectively. It's going to run him into range pretty cleanly. Him getting seen is not a big deal. Yes, I get spotted, but I have Sword Swipe 1. And just to guarantee it, I'm going to go and use Power Slice. No one else needs to really attack here. Yeah, glancing it both times again. On 5 melee swings, all of which had greater than 50% chance to hit, I've gotten 4 glances. Again, it's a small sample, but it feels very common to me that it works in that way. Whatever. The rest of the team can simply sprint forward. We've got one last box to grab. Someone can knock down that camera. We can probably choose to ignore that guard entirely. We're going to be done within 3 turns. We're going to get an escalation from pure tally, but again, there is no new information gained by the enemies here, so I'm not terribly worried about it. This guard is a little scary, but behind these barrels, or this, these, what? Crates? Not crates. Oh my gosh, what are these called? Wow. Cargo. Oh no. Cargo crates? No, I'm still wrong about this one. Why can I not remember what these are called? Cargo containers. Yeah, okay. Wow. To be fair, it's 1 AM for me, so I blame the lack of sleep. Alrighty, so we're looking pretty good here. I think this guy can stay stunned. You are patrolling forward. Again, still useless though. You have never heard a single thing. I mean, we have not triggered a single bit of information to the security AI, right? At no point has the AI ever done a single thing. It's now increased the tally per turn, which is, of course, quite useless. The only small concern is if you're going to be scary, but I doubt you are. Reinforcements are only on a normal patrol path. Not a big deal. You're still stunned. You... Oh, okay, okay, okay. If you turn, you can see me. Yep. Okay. Well, if we don't stop him, he's going to report me. I can block that with Brainworm, which is very likely what I'm going to do here. The range buff isn't needed, as it turns out. I'm still okay, but it makes it faster. So Brainworm now blocks security reports, which is really useful, actually. And it'll be done soon enough that I'm going to run up. I'm going to Brainworm him, because I don't need to kill him. You're going to be Brainwormed now. There we go. No increased tally. You're still stunned for the next 2 turns. I'm going to delay, though, just to be a little ultra safe. I've got Line Crawler back. He is not my best one to use talents, because realistically, other people are better at this. They're closer up. I will, for now, be a little cautious and run partway up. There's no real reason to. Nothing is actually... Like, there's no real unknown unknowns here. I know everything's going to be happening for the rest of this map, I'm pretty sure. But we can have her grab loot. And then, because I can, really there's, like, truly no downside here. When no one else can hear the gunfire, let's just shoot them. Oh, I'm on the wrong gun. There we go. Let's just shoot them. I have to move a little bit. Wait, is he really not? Oh, right, because I think it's because vertical again. He's too high up? No, I don't know. If I go like this, it's likely to look pretty good. Let's try lining him up and shooting. I think that's fine. Again, the kills really aren't needed, but YOLO. Yep, no one else can hear, and they are stunned or brainwormed, so they can't talk to the AI, and we are fine. Gonna have the hacker run pretty far forward here. The funny thing is, I'll probably leave him alive and just, like, exit during the next turn. So we're really just kind of hurting them for no reason. Again, I knew there was no upside to shooting them, but I did it anyway. How dare you work for the Free Streets Compact. Alright, nice. Another grenade, some drugs. Overall pretty decent. We can go send our bodyguard back. And before she goes, a little parting gift. Good job. Alright, Elise made it out. Sprinkle could throw a Venom Trap. Yep. There you go. Bounce a Venom Trap on him. Alright, he won't quite die on his own. But if Spanner goes for a shot, that might be the case. We are for sure getting out next turn. There's really no way around that. If I shoot you and you get hit, you're guaranteed to die. Cool. Canonically, you're dead before the brain worm ever wears off. He will probably shoot this guy during his next turn. He's far enough away that no one's going to hear it. So, more angst. So there's some poison damage to you. 5 tally per turn. No big deal. Here you go, buddy. Go brainworm this guy. You've taken some cover. Decent damage. Good job. Oh, right. They have enough action points that they'll shoot more than once in a turn. And yeah, there was a fairly recent AI fix, I would say about a month and a half ago, where they updated the combat AI to be a lot smarter, and that included them attacking more than once in a turn when they had the action points for it. So he knocked him out for me. I'm going to have 4 action points to spare, so I'm hidden. Well, I'm hidden, so it's a surprise target. See you, nerd. Unfortunately, a bug with some of the gun sound effects, but oh well. Alright, and the team can get out. We chose to kill the guards for no reason, other than we could. You don't get XP for it, you don't get any bonus stats for it. But it was because I could, and it became content. And these guards, yeah, so we got through this, and let's see, when would they have known anything? Yeah, so in 2 turns, these body timers would have run out. And so the first time the security AI will hear anything is 2 turns after I've already left, and they'll be like, guys, a couple of guards haven't reported in. Someone go check on them. And, you know, like, we're just completely long gone. So, quite successful turn. Quite successful overall map. We got both secondary objectives done for bonus XP and money? What was the other one? I forget. But they were on alert for the courier. We cleared the path. Our data was in good hands. Her data was in good hands. Yeah, we got some red cubes for crafting. We got bonus XP, which is kind of nice. 100 XP for the squad is pretty good here. From bringing the hacker, we got a couple of accounts. This is worth a little bit of money. A couple of crafting materials, which is cool. And files are pretty solid. Again, we got 2 parts of V-Stacks' or Gold Stacks' V-Chip. And yeah, just overall a pretty decent haul here, plus a really good payment. I gotta say, playing on not increased difficulty levels for money, you have a lot of money. Yeah, there's a lot you get to spend here. So cool. Co-conspirator is gonna be done relatively soon, and once that is in, we could say, hey, Origami Joe, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be guaranteed here. Yeah, Origami's at 60 already. He's gonna be guaranteed to be at limit break. We also, of note, I had sold an account, so Dance Hall is now at 80 as well. 20 for the mission. I actually got 10 from selling her a purple account here. So let's see. We don't have enough XP to train the face, sadly, but we are at a pretty good amount of money. And so I'm going to move time forward. I'm going to probably play the CPU spike during this episode. And next episode will be whatever this is, whatever that needs. So we're going to have time move forward. We're going to get our limit break here. Yo, nice. This is really early on. Okay, so I believe, I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong, but this is actually really fortunate. So power level 3, I think, this is pure conjecture, is when these things unlock. You can start to get power plays. So Owyn normally does not give you any missions, but she is eligible for one of the 3 power plays, which gives her a connection to selling you a new line of drugs. By hooking up with the Ricksham and getting even more like top shelf stuff from them. And so this ends up giving her Yeah, so power play. Oh, and this is actually a little bit new because oh, no, yeah. She was already functionally on a power play by getting the illicit nexus trait from the legwork we did for a while ago. And so by taking this mission, we're actually starting the storyline itself of the Ricksham Drip power play. And so this will end up spawning a mission that we can take, which will then unlock that gear for her, and then we can try to feed her influence and whatnot, and further that up forward and upgrade that service pretty quickly and get high quality drugs. A lot of them are for hacking, some of them are for combat. Really cool stuff. So obviously we take this. This is a really, really good option. And so that convo, we will run that in a future episode when we want to go run these missions. But that's really cool stuff here. So that's great. I'm going to run this in a future mission here as well. Co-Conspirator is up. I want to burn that cooldown instantly. And then Puppet Master is due in 5 days. I just got to make sure I don't run the mission and get Origami Joe's limit break before this actually pops. So let me go ahead and hit this before I forget. Let's go to Origami Joe and say, hey, oh, we can't co-conspire. Oh, cool. I didn't know about this. Okay, this is new for me. There's actual, for the first time, I think, really kind of at all, thanks for updates in early access, heat finally matters, which is great. Heat has been pretty useless for a while. Again, early access, not everything's in, totally understandable, but yeah, you can see that there's, yeah, of course she's busy, so I can't co-conspire with her. Corporate VPs won't co-conspire with heat over 40. Negative trust score, can't co-conspire here. Again, corporate VP. Here, Origami Joe is street, so he's 50. She doesn't have any jobs for us right now. Okay, fine. This gang boss doesn't have one that he's gonna like right now. Nothing for him either. Negative trust score. Too high. She's extra ultra tech, so heat of 50. Heat of 50 for, yeah, street people. Right. Oh, it's cool that actually because she is, I don't know if it's because she's corrupt in faction or whatnot, but most Corpo people are at 40, so it's interesting that she's unique. I don't know if it's because of that or what. He's missing, so I can't do any missions here. Yeah, she's from the street, so it's 50. Yeah, he's loyal to the faction, but he's, I guess, maybe that's not even high trust or anything. I'm not sure. That's interesting. He gets to go for 50, which is cool. Yeah, so basically, until we can put our heat down, or it might just be like, oh, if you're a corporate VP specifically, you're too important, so the heat cap is lower. But that's cool. It's cool to actually have ramifications to heat. It will take 2 days for this heat to burn off, which means I guess I can just wait about 2 days and then pop co-conspire. It also increases the need to get a counter intel pod. A counter intel pod can be used to lower heat, but I'm again like actually really glad there's like a reason to do this, because yeah, forcing missions onto a gun runner to use Puppet Master is a really big deal and really powerful, and I want to use that all the time. So now I have a really, really good incentive to have my heat below 50. Awesome, great. I've been like hoping there would be good mechanics that, you know, don't just say go use an assault rifle and kill everyone every turn, because there's no downside. So that's awesome. I'm glad about that. Okay, so again, the goal is let heat bleed off down to 50 or 49. Simstream Trainer is done. Once we're going to be, yeah, let's, I keep kind of backtracking. Yeah, let's clean this up. Once we are going to go on a mission, we can use the trainer, put someone on the bench, and get some power that way. Let's actually grab the CPU spike now. I might as well. McKellen Heavy Industries thinks our new quantum network is vulnerable. Let's spike a CPU to show them how old and weak their network is. It's been a long time since the Corpo tried to stand up a completely new network in sovereign territory. You're a hell of a target, admit it. If you won't, I'll say it for you. Every new quantum endpoint is a playground for hackers. Yep, something new is always so shiny and distracting. Digital battle lines have been drawn by the Megacorps here in New Boston a long time ago, decades ago. The city's digital landscape is fueled by silly, age-old assumptions around tech, scanners, and what the Megacorps will and won't risk against each other. Those old battle lines have so many holes in them, but the Megacorps don't even see them anymore. But our techs are new, sharp, hungry. Our quantum sweeps, using proprietary technology, have identified a host of McKellen Heavy Industry systems ready to target for worm insertion. If you have credible and exposed McKellen targets, we may be able to get your worms into their network. We've got a CPU spike job. One of our hackers must solo a host and spike its CPU, and Quantum Storm is now ready. So definitely want to do power play. Definitely want to run some legwork. Definitely want to run this at some point. But I need my heat to bleed off. Let's see. Can you run this at 50, or has it got to be below 50? Right, I know you're at negative trust, but if I look at Origami Joe, yep, at 50 is good enough. Great. Joe, what's up? We could get a mutually beneficial agreement. I agree. You're totally right about that one. I get my Puppet Master token in 2.5 days. I will wait until it's actually at 0 just in case. Loot the files in the set is going to be a relatively good mission. That's awesome. I haven't 3 execute enemy captains in a really long time. I almost felt like it was bugged for a while, but yeah, I just haven't seen this on offer in forever. So we've got a new kind of storm of missions here. That's all good and well and fine. A lot of stuff here to look at going forward. Power level 3 means our rewards for the missions have now increased as well, so both pay and XP are increasing. End of the day, we've got our tasks lined out for us already. We're going to build out a SimStream detect, going to build out a counter intel pod. We've got enough money that we can invest in some more things when I have the ability to, but I'm going to probably wait on spending money until I can limit break my gunrunner, force up him to have better gear, and then move in that direction. Okay, so the plan is let's go run the CPU spike, and that'll mostly end the episode as we set up for the next thing. So Trey's going to get a little of money, and he's going to pay us. He's going to get a little bit of bonus influence. Because we didn't take the other talents for, I forget what it's called. It's not Coconspire, but we basically don't get the bonus influence and money because he's not a... yeah, we boosted the base price, but we didn't get the plus influence, which is pretty understandable. Let me actually double check and go here and actually buy stuff. So IO and AP is really worthwhile. Deck armor is not bad either. Deck armor is not shield. It will reduce all sorts of damage by that amount. But I think, yeah, getting the IO is useful. I think the damage is not as important. If I had a level 2 module, I'd get 100 IO. That'd be very good as well. But I'll take the deck armor and I'll take everything else. You basically can't get any paid leverage on solo CPU spikes. You are kind of reliant on your hacking station for this. Double check that he can't get new talents. No, he cannot. He's still level 7. I don't believe the face will get XP for this, but I guess we can see. I believe it's only based on what your Cyberknight gains. Still though, let's run this. You know what to do. Jack in and get cutting. We do have access to hacking drugs. I should probably actually buy them and like equip them so that I have the extra tools here, but haven't done that yet. Well, welcome to a moderate, well, actually still a relatively small yellow matrix host. We've got leverage here. I'm going to pop these right away. I don't really have a reason not to hit them at the very start. We'll start here, and I'm going to start by going down. Doesn't really, actually, going, let's see. Is it, I think it's technically better. It's better on the IO to go through passive ice. It's better on the AP to go through the active ice, right? It's 3 charges for 100 IO. It's 3 charges for 60 IO, but this is 2 AP versus 3 AP. Since IO well, actually, IO is still probably my primary concern here, so I'm going to go this way. Connection use has to get dropped. This is fine. Damage to connection, then connection use. Those have dropped. Found the CPU already. That's good news. Let's just run here. Let's null op. We damaged 3 things. We got tally 3 times. This must be clear. Scan, scan. Spike. Mission complete. Thank you, upgraded null op. It is really, really helpful. No ice or firewall is going to slow me down. CPU's been spiked. Varus has been deployed. Well played. We can leave, or we can get optional loot. I love optional loot. On this layout, there's no reason to go back this way, so we might as well go up instead. This node is always... It says 0. It's always actually 1 per action. But we can see that there's probably stuff here. There might be stuff here. So I'm going to preemptively load trap because surely we're going to run into loot at some point. Let's knock down security talent. Let's knock down connection use. Let's scan. We've got 1 active and who knows what. So let's walk over. Drop the active. I believe there's not a second trap here. I could be wrong, but I believe if you scan and it doesn't pop, there's nothing else here. If you scan and whatever you hit pops, it popped before your scan. You still got to scan another time. So we can drop this, take here, and we should be fine no matter what. Looks to be the case. Need to load some of this stuff. We're a little capped out, so all I can really do is load deception and wait. Actually, I'm willing to risk whatever's here. Blocking connection use is not a very big deal. It allows me the space to throw another scan down. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I can't leave because it blocks connection use, so I can't do much else here. I could null opt, and I could say I could have null opt, but it's fine. I'll get it all during next turn. I'll load sleaze, I'll knock that down, and then I will probably for fun just null opt this anyway because it'll be easier. I think it's going to be good enough. So we can end turn 1. Very fruitful turn 1 here. Sleaze you, and then null up for funsies. We lose Sleaze because of the escalation. It's not a big deal. There are actually 2 ice here. Interesting. Okay. So we attacked 3 ice. We killed all 3. Worth noting, this was a data fortress and it had 3 ice. This was a data warehouse and it had 2. So I do believe that, I know it's intended that these technically have mechanical differences, one being harder than the other. And it might be ice count, realistically. I mean, CPU had 3, the fortress had 3, and then a regular warehouse only had 2. That makes sense to me. That tracks. Currently, there's nothing on the Matrix endpoints. I think they've said that sometime post-launch, they will add functionality to these and like let you jump to other Matrix hosts, but that's not going to be in the game for quite a while. That's fine, though. That's us, right? We got our 2 sets of downloads, basically. We got our CPU spike. We got our money. We're good to go. Digital destruction he is. Alrighty. That was quick, painless, straightforward. A little bit of XP, pretty good money, and then it's not a very large power level game because Matrix hacks, you know, have pretty low rewards overall, and so they don't progress the game all that fast. Yeah, no XP game everyone else, totally makes sense here. I would like to level her up relatively soon so that she can gain more stuff. I would like to get field coordination and start getting this going. Puppet Master, of course, is already maxed. Dealmaker, I just don't really care about getting the corpo side of this. Handbrake is decent. I don't terribly care about opposition research. Care and feeding is not the most useful thing, but it's fine. But I do care about field coordination, and I do care about getting height booster. I think it's actually really, really nice with the bonus token as well. That'll be really valuable. There's some really good stuff there overall. Okay, so that's the CPU hack done. I guess we'll round out the episode by letting some of our time tick forward. I'm going to save this convo for the actual next episode. We'll lead into it with that. Yeah, almost certainly. Okay, so Swordcraft is done. Room is cleaned. I want Simstream detox, so let's start putting in power wires. And okay, we can get the nano scrubber up and running. Oh, right. We've got a quick other piece. Do you remember that UNA researcher that got canned with the Heartbreak Rush job? Well, I've been keeping an eye on her, and she landed in the underbelly of the New Boston Zone. No money, no citizenship, no clue what this world is like. Thought we were done with that job. Things have not gone well for her. Unfortunately, she got caught up in a syndicate snatch scam. She took employment at a street-level tech house, signed some contracts, got settled in to make meager pay, doing meager work. The bosses at the office realized she had some major potential, found out that she is ex-UNA, and pounced. They made up some infraction, blamed it on her, and it'll cost her a year of her piddly salary to pay off. Of course, she doesn't have the money, and will have to work it off. A story as old as time, and the cycle will repeat. Something else will happen, and a new debt will pop up. And with syndicate security hanging nearby, she is now a slave to their machine. I know it's hitting close to home, Blur. You don't have to hide your soft spots. And so we can answer for Blur. We can say, look, we can offer a new one below the level, okay? We did our job, which destroyed her life. We can help her. Or, like, you know, I'm being calculating. She's a good hacker. We could hire her. But I'm going to say, hey, soft spot, okay? With us or on her own. She's too talented to end up doing small-time financial scams for a syndicate. Even if we don't decide that she's a fit, we could do something to repay what we did. You and I are the ones who destroyed her. They didn't even look at our flimsy evidence. If they had really looked, they would have seen through it and exonerated her. Sure, but what does it matter if she spends the rest of her life slaving over the Seven Dragons web of financial scams in the Matrix? You know my life almost ended up similar for Los Agalas, remember? You helped leverage me out of there. I won't ever forget that. Alright, what do we do? Which syndicate? Up-and-coming financial crimes house called the Seven Dragons. It's a delicate situation, but it's a very small amount of money. We could buy her out for 20k. Or we can kill the syndicate? I don't know if a bloodbath is the best way to bring her onto the team. If we buy her out, though, she's in our debt. Sure, let's spend 20k. We've got tons of money here. Let's bring her in for a chat. We can afford it, let's make it happen. Even if we don't pick her up as a valuable asset to the team, we've still done a good thing for the day. And we didn't even have to wipe out any syndicates. Consider it done. I'll get her situated in a Coffin Motel, waiting for us. Alright, well, let's run the chat real quick then. Let me introduce Owyn. We just canceled her debt with the syndicate. Not to be crass, but for us buying out your debt, it was easy. Because we realized you're not just some street hacker, you got real potential to be something special. So anyway, you did it. I didn't think the city knew what an act of charity was. And don't take it to be what it isn't. As you said, we see you're very skilled. I'll make it clear because you won't get this offer twice. I'm a Cyber Knight, and I run this outfit. We cut our own path. We might work for the city's power players, but they are not our masters. I'm thinking about finding a new hacker to join us. Is that you? That's refreshing. You're not just using the 20k as dead weight on my back. By that virtue alone, yes, I'll take my chance with you, if you'll have me. It is clear I'm on a one-way ticket down, so I might as well try to land in your crew. But we don't have enough space right now, so we can't do it yet. Well, stay on ice. We can investigate what she's like. Now, of course, our rules say one unique class, so we can't get a second hacker. But if we wanted to get her up, she gets a bunch of bonus tech, a bunch of free AP. She gets 3 condition back per turn. It's a very, very good baseline background. Okay, she's really bad in combat with minus reaction, minus strength, minus health. But hey, plus tech is good. And I would say will is actually the second best stat for hackers because taking stress damage is a real thing, and will gives stress resist. You can see right here, it's not terrible. And then again, even more Matrix AP. 4 cybernetic armor is a lot. Like, she's a really, really, really strong hacker. The problem is she hates Warner Braun. She will not run missions that Warner Braun offers, and a good portion of our contacts are Warner Braun. Even if they are ex-Warner Braun and they hate the faction, right now, the way the game is coded, that still counts. So, yeah. Problems there. Anyway, yeah, she hates Guy for being complicit in the plot to frame her. Totally true. The security researcher contract. At the end of the day, though, we're not going to hire her because, again, we don't have room for a second hacker. We could hire her and then fire her right away, but ultimately, let's just take the dialogue and say, hey, we're done here. So we can skip everything and say, it turns out you're not a fit for the team. I can promise you this. I won't make the same mistake again. This isn't the new Boston I knew. I'm out of my element, but it is clearly learn or die down here. Well, I'm glad we could spring you from the trap they had you in. It feels right. Yeah, I guess it does. Thank you for taking the chance on me. I won't regret it, or won't forget it. Maybe we'll run together in the future. So at some point, they've said they want to add the ability to rehire people you've, like, dispelled. That is not in the game right now, but at some point, they will add the ability. Oh, she's gone. Back in the streets, but free. Thank you. You know how close I was to a life of servitude. I just couldn't watch it happen. Well, this gives her loyalty and hype, which is nice. So, hooray, she's happier. Loyalty up to 60. Hype is now eligible for limit break, which is cool. Cool stuff there. And that's gonna end the episode, because next thing we're gonna do is start this convo and start the next mission. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.